What's up, guys? How are you? Welcome into a Tuesday morning edition of the Daily Juice Podcast. My name is Matt Perrault. We're here every single morning on BettingPros.com, always being brought to you by BetMGM. You can follow me on Twitter at SportsTalkMatt or BettingPros on Twitter at BettingProsNFL for all of our fun Twitter conversations and sports betting information. Okay, so yesterday, at the time of taping, right now, we are about to enter the third period, and we are not going to get the Discord bet unless there is a crazy, wild third period. I'm going to call it a loss. Both goaltenders have been incredible tonight. Both Binnington and Grubauer have been awesome. That was my fear, that both goaltenders might stand on their head. It's kind of like the Vegas and Minnesota series where you got Talbot and Marc-Andre Fleury. It's like, the goaltending is so good that even though the offenses are really good, scoring goals might be difficult. So I think that over is dead, which would drop the Discord bet to 4 and 5. You weren't alone. I saw a lot of people I respect on the over tonight, just given how many goals have been scored. But for us, the 5 for Nashville and Carolina comes in. That cashed. That was nice. Again, if you see a 5, jump on it, bet the over. Even blindly. Like, just if you see a 5, bet it. Okay? Even 6. Got one of those going tonight. But if you're 6, go ahead and jump on the over. So Nashville and Carolina, minus 135, that goes over. We got the White Sox money line in a complete and total laugher. That was fun. Minus 104 on that one. We wind up getting one player prop right and one player prop wrong. So 1 and 1 on the player props. And I'm blanking on the other bet. Well, then the Boston Bruins came in. So it was a 3 and 1 day for me. And yeah, so 3 and 1 day for me, and then 0 and 1 for the Discord bet. So technically it's a 3 and 2 night overall, but 3 and 1 for me, and then the Discord bet goes 0 and 1. So not bad. So we're kind of chugging along here. We're in kind of a nice little groove, and I didn't mean for this to happen, but it just kind of feels right now, where I make 3 bets on the podcast, and then I give you 2 player props during the day and on the Discord channel. It's just kind of like that's been the natural order of the last couple of months. So that's going to change, I think. I don't know. I mean, once basketball goes away and once hockey goes away and we're just left with baseball, I don't know yet. But we're starting to see crowds come back, starting to get a little bit loose, a little looser with the bankroll. So, yeah, I don't know. But right now I like this. 3 bets on the pod and then a couple of player props during the day. And we see where we go. And, you know, we kind of always, it's 5 bets a day basically being given out, which is pretty good. You can pick and choose what you want to bet on. Gives you a wide swath of things you can go ahead and bet on, and a wide swath of things you guys can use that BetMGM sign up if you are looking for a new BetMGM account with the Daily Juice, Juice100 promo code, Juice100, $20 bet from BetMGM, $100 in free bets. You apply it to any bet, win or lose. You bet $20, you win $100 in free wagers from BetMGM. It's pretty simple, right? Pretty easy. New accounts, use it, Juice100 on the sign-up code. That's how you say thanks for everything that we're doing here with the Daily Juice. Okay, so we go, 2 and, 1 and 1 with the half unit bets and 1 and 1 in the, I feel like I'm forgetting a bet here somewhere from last night. I think I am forgetting a bet, but I can't remember. I can't remember what else we're doing, but I think I mean, I had the Bruins personally, and the Bruins won in overtime, which was really nice. But so here's where I'm going today. The Vegas Golden Knights have a couple of really big questions against the Minnesota Wild. I have the same logic as to how I bet the Bruins it's basically a must-win game for the Bruins. It's a must-win game for Vegas. Here's the thing. I don't know if Marc-Andre Fleury is going to be in net for Vegas, and I don't know if Max Pacioretty is going to be back. It doesn't sound like Max Pacioretty is playing for the Vegas Golden Knights tonight. That's bad. And if Fleury's not in net and it's Robin Lehner in net, I don't know what to do with that. And it changes things for me in a big way in terms of whether or not I'm going to back the Vegas Golden Knights to win. The money line's like minus 160, so it's pretty expensive. And if I don't like the goaltenders, and if Pacioretty's not playing, I don't know. It's a tough spot for me. I just don't know if I can get involved with the Vegas Golden Knights coming up here, and that was kind of tough. So now I'm 1 and 2, by the way. I got my first overtime win with the Bruins getting that victory. So I could see an underplay of 5.5, and maybe if Flower plays, maybe I will be on the under. But as of right now, time of taping, nothing on the Vegas Golden Knights taking on the Minnesota Wild in the late game tonight. However, I do have a hockey play. In the hockey play, Tampa Bay Lightning taking on the Florida Panthers. Hell of a game in game number 1. It was a brawl, a battle, goals all over the place. I mean, Brandon Point was unbelievable with the way he played. Last 2 goals scored for Tampa. That game probably should have gone to overtime, and instead it doesn't, and it turns into just an unbelievable barn burner game. Tampa wins 1-0. I think Florida comes back, but here's the thing. I don't think you can play a slow tempo game against Tampa. And both goaltenders, Bobrovsky played really well and gave up 5 goals. And Vasilevsky played really well and gave up 4 goals. It's kind of like, wow, 5-4 was the final in the first game. This is another one of my theories here. The total was 6. I jumped on it, and it was -110, jumped on the 6. There are some books who have it at 5.5 juice to like -140 to the over. I don't hate that. It's a better number depending on the juice. But I'm gonna lay the -110 and take the 6 and hope that we see like a 4-3 type of game. And we get to the over here for one of these two teams to win. But I don't think Florida can win a low-scoring game. I think they have to play wide open, and that gives Tampa all sorts of scoring opportunities. I know what Bobrovsky can do. I know what Vasilevsky can do. But, I mean, I think these teams are going to play a highly entertaining series. I bet the over 6. We have a push potential there with 6. Over 6 -110 is the first play for Tampa and Florida coming up tonight. Again, nothing on the Vegas Golden Knights yet. I may add it. I don't know. But nothing on the Vegas Golden Knights as of right now at the time of taping for their game against the Wild. I might look to the under. If we do wind up getting if Flowers in net, I probably go to the under. But I just don't know yet. I got to wait and see who's playing and who's available for Vegas before I do that. Okay? So one hockey play and one hockey, let's see what happens in the Discord channel, bettingpros.com/chat, bettingpros.com/chat, or if you're on YouTube, you guys can click the link, which will take you directly to the Discord channel. That link is right on the screen below where I am pointing right now on YouTube. Okay? To basketball. I'm going to save the Celtics to the end. Let's talk about the play-in games. First play-in game, Charlotte at Indiana. So Charlotte on the year, 36-35-1 to the number. Indiana, 32-39-1 to the under. They've covered 4 straight games. Indiana, 4-0-1 over the last 5 games, 7-2-1 to the number over the last 10 games. For Charlotte, they've been bad down the stretch. 2-3 against the number, 4-6 over the last 10. On the road, they're 17-19 against the spread. Indiana, 19-6-1. The number is 2.5 that I got here in Vegas. Shop, okay? 2.5, 3, 3.5. Shop around. Find 2.5, all right? I found 2.5 at -110 at the Westgate here in Las Vegas. It's a big deal to me, okay? Charlotte, over their last 5 games, they've lost all 5, okay? All 5 have been losses. They covered 2 of the 5, but all 5 have been losses. They lost to New Orleans, laying 3 by 2. Lost to Denver, catching 6. Lost by 5. Lost by 23 to the Clippers as 8.5-point dogs at home. Lost by 9 as 5.5-point dogs to New York. And then lost by 5 against the Washington Wizards in a pretty big game by 6.5-point dogs on the road. On the flip side, Indiana won by 12 over Toronto as 6-point favorites, lost by 7 as 8.5-point dogs to the Lakers, lost by 9 as 9.5-point dogs to Milwaukee, and won by 9 as 5.5-point dogs to Philadelphia at home. 3 of those 4 games were at home for Indiana. I do think this could be an up-tempo basketball game, but the total is a little bit too high for my blood. I know Miles Turner not being there is a big deal. And he's a rim protector, and he's a gigantic defensive presence, but no Gordon Hayward for Indiana. There's a lot of injuries, a lot of question marks. I mean, Sabonis should play in this game. LeVert should play in this game. I mean, this is a play-in tournament game, so my goodness, if they can't play, that would be brutal. But LeVert's up in the air, so there are some questions that have caused some people to come back on Charlotte, saying, we're just not positive with Sabonis who is up in the air. He's got a quad injury. Is he going to play? I'm going to bank he's going to play because it's a huge game. And I'm going to bank that LeVert most likely may or may not. But we know Turner's out. We know Brogdon's out. But, I think there's enough weapons for Indiana. Doug McDermott's been playing really well for Indiana, by the way. At home, I just think when you start looking at the two matchups, I can't back a team that lost a ton of games on their way out. I can't do it. And it doesn't work for me to get behind a Charlotte team that doesn't have two of their best players. And when you don't have Gordon Hayward, that's a big deal for me. That was one of the big free agent acquisitions, one of the big signings for this team. And without him, I can't do it. And, Charlotte has been bad, 1-6 straight up and 1-6 against the spread over the last 7 games on the road. So they've played really poorly on the road. I'm going to lay the 2.5 here. Give me Indiana minus 2.5 here to win and advance in the play-in tournament here and knock out the Hornets to send them out, done for the season, and then back for next year. So Indiana to win, minus 2.5. Okay. Pick number 2. Oh boy. All right, here we go. Everyone's going to be against me. The Boston Celtics at home against the Washington Wizards. I'm going to take all the drama out of with the point spread. I don't want to be sweating numbers. I'm just betting on a team to win here, and that's it. At home, Boston is 21-15 to the number. On the road, Washington is 15-21 to the number. Boston has not played well against the division, against the conference. It's been ugly. 1-4 over their last 5 games, 4-6 over their last 10, 6-4 for Washington over the last 10, 3-2 over the last 5. Covered the last 2 games. On the road, though, 15-21 for the Washington Wizards. If you look at the money line, last 2 games, one against Cleveland and Charlotte. For Washington, they lost both games to Atlanta. They beat Indiana and they beat Toronto. They lost to Milwaukee by just 1 point when they were resting a bunch of players. The points scored against this team is just ridiculous. And I may come back with a total, but I think Boston's going to try to slow the game down. They're not going to want to run up and down with Washington. That's what Washington wants. They want a scatterbrain up and down type of crazy, pace. And 232, 233 for a total in a playoff game is ridiculous. But look at the games that have been played with Washington. 154, 141, 135, 134, 133, 132, 125, 124, 120, 116. The running theme here, close games. Really close games. Boston has 1 win over their last 6 games. It's been ugly. Boston will not have Jaylen Brown. But here is my philosophy when it comes to the Boston Celtics at home in the postseason. On paper, Boston's the better team. Okay? They're the deeper team, the better team, but they're not going to go deep into the bench like you do in the regular season. Boston is going to go straight up with their best players, and Jason Tatum's got to be tremendous. But the key to me, and this is where maybe I'm going to go with player props, is going to be Kemba Walker. Kemba Walker has got to be Kemba Walker. He's got to score more than 20 points. He can't worry about passing the basketball. He's got to attack the rim. He has to set up his teammates, but he also has to score. And he's got to be the good version of Kemba Walker. It's Kemba Walker, it's Jason Tatum, and it's Marcus Smart. That's the core. That's who has to win this game. And Marcus Smart on Russell Westbrook is going to be an unbelievable matchup. Bradley Beal and that hamstring is not healthy, okay? So that's a major factor. Boston's got the better team on paper. Bradley Beal has a bum hamstring, which we don't know how healthy he's going to be for this game. Probably not very healthy at all. I like Brad Stevens over Scott Brooks. I think he's a better coach. Brad Stevens is coaching. We don't know what's going to happen. Everyone's saying Boston's packing it in. I don't believe that for a second. I don't believe that's what Brad Stevens does. But I can't lay the 2 points. I just can't do it because of how Washington plays and how tight they play. Celtics money line is minus 130. I'm going to put a half a unit down on Boston just to win the game. Forget about the points and how many points you got to win by. Just win the game. My guess is this is going to be a crazy game, a crazy sweat. I'm just going to put Boston to make 1 or 2 more plays and knock the Wizards into the second play-in game coming up in 2 days. Okay, and then Boston goes ahead. Everyone's saying that Boston's going to tank here, that Boston's going to lose on purpose because they can play another game, and they would rather wind up being the 8 seed and playing Philadelphia than being the 2 seed and playing Brooklyn. I don't know if I agree with that. I mean, pick your poison with this. Like Kevin Durant, James Harden, and Kyrie Irving, or do you want to play, Embiid in the next round? There's no good solution here. There's no good way out for Boston. They're going to get stomped no matter who they play. So you might as well just beat whoever's in front of you, win these games, and try to build some momentum and kind of show people, okay, at least we won the play-in game against a bad Washington team. Losing this game for Boston would look really, really bad for them, and I don't think they're wired in a way to lose after all the negativity. So just Boston to win. I know you guys may want to fade that. I get it, but I feel the same way I felt like on Saturday where everybody was against me. Everybody was on Michael Chandler, and I was on Charles Oliveira. Everyone's on Washington, and I'm on the Boston Celtics. I'm a Celtics homer. I'm not going to deny it. I'm not going to run from it. I'm definitely a homer, but that's where I'm going. Boston on the money line. Okay? So 2 player props will be coming at you in probably, Kemba Walker and maybe a Doug McDermott. I don't know. I'm just looking at, we'll see what those props are. But those are 2 names I'm going to be eyeballing and watching for player props. So we'll have 2 player props for you guys coming up for sure at a quarter unit. But we are going half unit plays. Tampa Panthers over 6 goals, -110. We're going Pacers -2.5, -110 against the Hornets. Celtics money line against Washington -130 for our 3 plays, half a unit. Player props all still to come as well for us on the Discord channel, bettingpros.com/chat to get in. My name is Matt Perrault. Every morning, it's the Daily Juice Podcast right here on bettingpros.com, brought to you by BetMGM.